Welcome to the Put on Waivers Media Group, home of the Put on Raiders podcast and the Student Body Right podcast. This is your place for the best breakdowns and the best insight for those who fight on and bleed silver and black. Now, here are your hosts, Dwayne Douglas and Ryan Holmes.
And welcome everybody to the glorious episode of the Student Body Rights USC podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas, along with Coach B, and we are podcasting at the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful day out here in Southern California. PORSB on the Twitter handle, and Coach B is BLUEDVL21.
Yep.
All right,
that's it.
All right, so make sure you check that out as well too. And he also does. We run the yard talking college football on Playback, so you want to check that out. Playback is a pretty cool app as well, so you want to check that out as well. Real quick, John Robinson passed away. I just, RIP. Was a longtime USC head coach, longtime Rams head coach. So, just a shout out to him and his family. I know they, he lived a long life and a lot of great football moments for him with the Trojans.
Absolutely. A legend in this game. You know what I mean? Like, especially when it comes to USC football. USC football's similar, built on the back of a legend like him. John Robinson's built. He's the reason why USC football, I think, is a blue blood in this game. The amount of athletes that he had to come through the school, what he was able to do in Southern California at that time is just amazing. And we're gonna miss him, right? Just all around great guy. You never heard a bad thing about him. You know what I mean? I was listening to the Thinkcast last night on Monday night. Great friends, childhood friends with John Madden. You know what I mean? So what type of football conversations those went on over the years, right? But yeah, like again, we're gonna miss him. Rest easy to the legend, John Robinson.
It's funny, like how much the Raiders and USC come together in like so many different ways.
Right.
I know you're a Charger fan, but like just in general, like there's so many.
In general, yeah.
Just in players and just like relationships. I mean, the picture that was on the internet today, which was it was a picture of John Robinson, and right to the left of him was Hugh Jackson, and it was just like,
right.
I was just like, it's crazy how much. I know Al Davis was a huge USC guy as far as that goes. So great moments. Hopefully USC down the road can get some of those great moments as well. Just the consistent winner that he was. Was some really cool things about John Robinson, and he will be a guy who will be missed. Just some coach. I know he coached at Oregon for a little bit. I just want to find one thing about him, about as far as his career. I think his collegiate record was he won games at a 640 clip. It was 140, 78 and 4 had 4 ties. So like I said, he was one of the greats. He's one of the greats, no question about it. So USC woke up this morning, got a little probation.
I wish this happened in the peak era, like with this probation, because this probation means nothing.
So you got a probation here, right? With USC, you got kids, driving around almost killing everybody in Georgia every other day. But like let's make sure we get USC for something.
Not too many not too many analysts, not even coaches, not too many analysts. It's not coaches, because we didn't have too many coaches. We had too many analysts.
Yeah, too many analysts. So here's the thing. No band on bowl games. Lincoln Riley's not suspended, so no real nothing as far as that goes. Only question.
Just the headline. Just the headline.
Just the headline. But jokingly, somebody texted me and was like, "Damn, y'all got all those analysts and still went 7-5." I had to laugh.
I mean, what can you say?
Like, what are we analyzing
if you're
going 7-5 all the time?
Right.
But a real nothing burger as far as that goes. I know, like the way the USC media put out the headline, it made you click on it. I give y'all credit for that. Journalism professors will be very happy with your headlines that y'all put out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But as far as that goes, nothing really to worry about. So we won't spend too much time on that. Let's move on. Carol Folt is going to retire.
Huge.
After like I think 2025. You made a point like that you were like, you know how you feel about that. I don't know how I feel about it either, because I mean, obviously it's unknown, because now you have two people who are under her, and Lincoln Riley and Jen Cohen, who have to get a new boss. And we all know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, at some point,
that type of uncertainty.
Yeah. Some people like, I mean, they both have long contracts. So, and schools like USC doesn't love doing buyouts. But what are your thoughts about, like, what could be a positive about Folt retiring, because she's leaving a little bit of a legacy? And then what are your thoughts about the negative part of it?
Well, I mean, positive, she helped us, right? Like, no doubt. Yeah. Like, she wasn't a bad leader. No. You know what I mean? Were there missteps? Yeah, but everybody has missteps. She wasn't a bad leader if you look at everything in totality. Yeah. Negatively, who are you bringing in? Do they understand what Southern California is? Yeah. You know what I mean? Do they understand what this means? Not just as USC as a brand is not going anywhere. USC as a school, academically, not going anywhere. Do you understand what drives Southern California? College football is good when USC is good. You need to understand that. You need to understand that matters here. While we didn't win a whole lot under her, she still understood that matter. Yeah. She tried things, like, even though Lynn Swan didn't work out, she tried to get somebody who was supposedly understood Southern California.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I think also too, when Lincoln came to the office and said, I need to hire the staff, they wrote the checks. Like, they did not, to your point, they understood how important it is for USC football to be big. And she did everything she could to make sure that, hey, let's try our best to help the brand and help USC become good. So we'll see who takes over. I'm sure I would think if they're doing this, they do have. You would think the university has somebody who's ready to come in and step in and do her thing. So.
I'm curious at the timing of it, right? Is the end of 2025? Because that makes sense there too, because now it gives you time to say, hey, let's start vetting people quickly. You know what I mean? Because you have the end of the year.
Yeah, it does say end of as of basically my birthday. No, not exactly my birthday day, but it's July 1st, 2025. So
yeah, they have to have somebody in mind, because that's too soon.
Yeah, that's too soon, right? I mean,
they have somebody ready to step up.
And she's walking away on her own, like, hey, I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna walk away. She's not like abruptly leaving, like, like they had to when Bone left, they had to do it that way,
right?
So
and so it sounds like she's training whoever's underneath her at this point.
Like going over.
That's what this feels like.
A year of, like, hey, feel out how the job is, because these are things you're gonna have to be in charge of. The $200 million part of her legacy is a $200 million football facility. That is something that is going to be huge for SC. The fact that USC has been able to get top line talent over the years without having something like that shows you what the brand is. So now the brand gets that as well. I think that's something that Lincoln Riley can also. I don't think they probably don't have that if they don't have a Lincoln Riley here. Like, they probably don't have that if they don't.
No,
they don't have that.
No, so, you can't. Well, how do you sell to donors to give me $50 million? How do you sell that? How do you say, hey, I need 50 million? Like, the one donor dropped $50 million. I was like, that's insane.
That's insane.
You need Pete Carroll like like the type of charisma to say, "Hey, I need 50 million because we got to compete."
Exactly. You want us to beat Georgia? You want us to beat
Yeah,
Alabama? Like, you know what I'm saying? We have to be able to
I
get
need
that
50
money.
million.
Yeah, we gotta be able to beat some of these big time opponents in the Big Ten. So yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. So I mean, it looks beautiful. It makes sense. Um, so that's something cool as well. Some cool things going on at C. Besides Juju Watkins dropping like 85 points on everybody.
Oh, that's
she,
insane.
yeah,
We won, but I looked at she had 21 points. We won by 85.
yeah, she's something else. She's something
Everybody
else.
played.
Yeah, she's
Everybody
really
played
good.
tonight.
So Miller Moss, and obviously, like I said, like you were the first one to really kind of question whether or not that was the right move. And all these people are just continuously defending Miller Moss, JD Pakel, all the people. I'm over that part of it. But what I would say is, the quickly you heard rumors about him trying to go to Michigan. I'm talking about him being linked to Michigan.
Didn't it make
And
sense?
it makes sense. I don't think that's reality. And I think my question of it is like, Michigan just needs somebody a little bit. They're going to run the same issues that USC has, and I just don't see like I I don't think I don't think it's good enough to take them to where they need to go.
Well, no, but you're looking at him like if you look at him, you can look at him in the mode of a JJ McCarthy. JJ ran sparingly. He got the ball out. He was accurate. He made some mistakes, but that's Miller. Miller is not. He's not JJ, right? He's not a JJ McCarthy, but he fits the mold. It's not about talent, right? He fits the mold of what they want to do, and then he brings some experience. But he fits the mold of a quarterback, right? Of their style of a Michigan style of quarterback. Think about it. He's exactly the opposite of what Michigan. He's exact like you look at guys that Michigan's had, the Shea Pattersons of the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
What were they? They were mobile. Michigan wants a guy that's gonna stand back there and sling it. It's the guy they want. Well, he fits in that mold of a Michigan quarterback. Now, talent wise, I'm 100% with you, right?
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah,
he's.
yeah, yeah.
I don't think he's a starting quarterback on a
On Blue Bud.
on a tier one college football level.
Yes.
Right? It's not him.
Yes.
However, he fits what they want to do. They're going to hand the ball off a lot. They're not doing a lot of RPO, right? They're not asking him to be dynamic in his throws. They're asking him to take care of the football. It's going to be a problem. Take care of the football and let us run the ball and be manageable enough so that our defense can win us football games.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I think if the more and more I look at it, I know that's what they are trying to do, but I would say that if you can get somebody who can move a little bit, I mean, it changes the world. And I just don't. I mean, to have a statue back there, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough sledding for them to as far as I'm concerned. But I know they do a great job of recruiting defensive offensive line, so that's what they're banking on as far as that goes.
Yeah, sure.
Like Cole Leinart, like I mean, like Cole Leinart going to SMU. Like I didn't think this was that big of a deal because I just don't. Because like I know it's a legacy kid.
The name. It's the name. That's it.
It's the name,
That's
but
all.
like, is he? I mean, I've not heard him in circles of being a top quarterback.
Well, you got to remember, he was at Mater Dei. He got moved from Mater Dei to get snaps. So that's why he went to, I forget the school that he's at right now.
Exactly.
But understanding that principle of it, when it came out, it shocked me that he went to SMU. It shocked me that he got a D1 offer. Not that he went to SMU.
Yeah. Which is a rising program.
It is. But that's why I was shocked at.
Yeah.
More than anything.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked that Lincoln didn't go after him. I'm not shocked that he didn't want to do the walk-on thing, right?
Yes.
He did that already at Mater Dei.
Yes, exactly.
He went to Mater Dei as a legacy kid.
Yes.
So I'm not surprised and nor am I upset that he went to SMU. Good job, sir. You did what you're supposed to do. You're getting free education. I love it.
I love it. Yeah, I know. Seriously. And plus, I think Texas is part of, he had a lot of cronies in Texas, not cronies, but friends in Texas. It says Matt Leinart, he's always out there. So, yes, it makes sense. But I'm not big about that. I'm not crazy about that. So, a while back, you said something that make a lot of sense. You say when you talk to high school kids, you tell them to go out there and see the world, go out there and visit every school.
Yep.
But at some point, you gotta shut shit down. And
yeah, you do.
You do.
You do.
I think that is Juju in that category now of just kind of like, I think for them, I think for SC, they probably thought he would be shutting everything down right now. He's been crystal ball to flip to go to him and Cardi Smith going to Colorado. He's also going to Georgia.
Visiting Georgia
this weekend. I guess keeping all his options open. But as far as that goes, but when he's been interviewed, he's talked about SC, licking Riley. What are your thoughts about where everything stands with Juju Lewis?
Well, I think right now you wanted Juju to shut it down because you wanted to get him into the spring.
Yes.
Right. That's what, if he's going to be a day one starter, you wanted to come in the spring.
Yeah.
Right. You wanted to get him graduated, come into the spring, he walks later. That's what you wanted. I think that's what Lincoln Riley wanted. Yeah. Right. Because if he's going to be our day one starter, which he probably will go into next year, at least competing for the day one job, you wanted him to be that guy. He's not right now with him. And that's why I said, when you sent me you text me, I'm like, I'm not necessarily worried because look what he did. He just he's going to Georgia. So now I'm going to crystal ball him to Georgia. Yeah. He's from Georgia. The reason why I'm not wholeheartedly upset is the kid said already, I know nothing about LA. So am I expecting a kid that knows nothing about Southern California, who's only came on visits, to come out here and be like, oh, well, now I just all of a sudden, he didn't say he loved it. He said he would learn, it would grow on him. He told us beforehand. So him going to visit other places can be being apprehensive. Again, I'm not totally out on the kid. Houston Street, that kid from Centennial, would love to have him, but I'm not out on Juju either. Him visiting Georgia makes sense. Carson Beck's gone. He can be a day one starter. He's going to places he wants to be a day one starter.
Yes, and that was one of the that was one of the things. Real quick, I just want to throw this in there real quick before you say something. That's what Indiana said was that the rumor was that Indiana said that the reason why they stopped talking to him is because they didn't promise that he was going to be the day one starter.
Right.
Or start as a freshman, if you will.
Right. So that's the issue. Like, to me, I'm like, if the kid wants to be a day one starter and he's not there, what do you expect him? I mean, he's telling you what I respect is he's telling you what he wants
up front
from the jump.
Up front, yeah.
Up front. It's not what we're dealing with Bear. Yeah. It's not what we're dealing with. Yeah. He told you, Lincoln Riley, can you meet that?
Yeah.
Are we going to meet those, for lack of better terms, are we going to meet those demands? You know what I mean? If we are, keep pursuing the kid. I think he's a true dual threat. We can make things work. He can do things. And I'm willing to go through the growing pains with this kid as a freshman, starting day one, than I am with another year Miller Moss. Anything that we have potentially, let's just go with the freshman so we can build, because we have young receivers and everything like that. We have our offensive core is pretty young.
Yeah.
So let's go with the young kid, and let's live with it. I'm sure he's going to make mistakes. But again, I'm not totally out because I feel like they crystal balled him. So what's the next crystal ball? Next week going to be crystal ball to Georgia? So how long are we going to play this crystal ball game? Because he's very comfortable at home.
Yeah, it says 60. It says 60% right now. As far as crystal ball goes, 60% going there. But this is the reason why the back and forth with the recruiting. That's why I kind of stay in my lane as far as my show goes, because it's such an up and down, back and forth, volatile market.
Yeah.
That it is interesting to hear what people have to say about it. He was saying it was Hassan Longstreet. Obviously a guy who USC is looking, if they're looking to replace that possible flip, I'm hearing that he is more um like Justin Milroe as far as like being able to move and run, has the biggest arm in the class. Then so he would be a guy who would probably be a candidate to sit for a year.
Right.
More so than the finished passing product that Juju is.
Well, absolutely. And so, so you would that if you get him, but he's already linked to A&M, right? He's been committed to A&M, right? So Texas A&M. So that kid flipping him, and it may be one of those things that we cannot be as naive to think that these kids don't have feelings in the sense that you didn't recruit me and now you're coming in last minute because of what you. So it's kind of like spiting me. You see, you feel what I'm saying? Like they're gonna spite us because of it. It's the same. Like the one thing, the one person I was listening to, don't know if you heard it, when CJ Stroud did his first interview on a pivot,
Yeah.
and they asked him how he got to Ohio State.
Uh-huh.
He said Bryce Young was in my class, DJ you was in my class, and somebody else was in his class, and he was like, USC didn't come to me until they struck out on everybody else. And he said he wanted to come to SC, but they didn't come to me until they struck out on everybody else. So I wanted to go where I
Who
was
was the
wanted.
coach? Who's the coach? Was it
I
Clay?
believe that. So that was Clay. Yeah, it
Was Clay? Yeah.
was Clay. And he
Yeah.
was like, they didn't want me. I went to where I was wanted. We can't be naive. We can't be like so beholden to our school to be like, no, these kids should just want to come. No, we got to put in the work. And I feel like with Longstreet, it's the same. I'm getting that same feeling because it's been Juju this whole time. And now that there's some rumblings and things are getting uncomfortable with Juju, now you're turning your attention to the kid that's in our backyard.
And it seems like for everything you hear that his like and kind of like same thing with Stroud, this was a guy who was the number one. His number one choice was SC.
Right.
So I don't know, like as far as like one thing that I don't understand a little bit with the recruiting part of it is like you have those top candidates here. Just let's run through that list before we start going all the way across to Georgia to for for Juju. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I mean, who's a kid
Right.
who's just not. I say it. The one thing that is in recruiting, I definitely know, and it's just like it's we all know LA. We all know California life. Like the one shell shock for a lot of people is when you live in the deep south and you come here. Like
Yeah.
it's just different. It's just different. Like yeah, and like people have that like Texas is a little bit easier. Even the Northeast, like but something about like when you try to pull somebody out of the South and they come here, they kind of long to go. They kind of long to go back
They
and forth.
struggle.
They struggle
They
with
struggle.
struggle with that the lifestyle out here, and it's just like something that you're not. It's just different. It's a different lifestyle. As far as that goes, I mean, you're not. I mean, you're not chasing rabbits in the backyard, in the swamp.
And,
Like
and
you know what
it's
I'm
not
saying?
even just about college. It's about the NFL too. Like this is not something that is relegated to these kids. And people always say, "Oh, it's just the kids." No, if you look at players, and I always had this thing like a lot of players that came from Alabama in particular that came out to that end up with the Niners, right? Came out west.
Yeah,
They struggled. They struggled. It's
yeah,
just a thing, and I get it, right? And like you said, it's the lifestyle. Well, if you look at even us, like I keep going back to the words Juju said. I've never been to LA before. I'm going out there.
yeah.
It's going to be different. Najee Harris left Northern California and went to Bama. He out of his own mouth, he was home every other weekend
Oh,
because he didn't like it. During the summer, during the
oh,
school year when it was not football, he didn't like it.
oh. How that how that flight get paid? No violation there. Yeah, I
But he
mean,
didn't like it.
you
That
can't
was
even.
one of those things where it's a struggle, and
Yeah,
I understand it. I
yeah,
get it, but Juju said it, and so to me, that could be some trepidation. Even though he's there, that could have been some trepidation, and I'm not that's fair.
yeah.
It's fair,
That's fair. It's fair. It's fair. Let's see
and us
here.
listen. And if people don't believe that us playing the way we played this season, losing the games we've lost, is not playing a part, you might want to rethink the situation.
Yeah, I mean, like 100%. Like, I mean, it really makes no sense. Like, it really for them to not be like this season wasn't this season to lose some of these games was just embarrassing, and I think part of it was just like like it was just the head coach being stubborn, and even the people around the media are really stubborn about Miller, and which is kind of comical to me because I don't know how you keep throwing there's five losses, every single one of them, and the game changes because he's hit because of one of his turnovers.
Yep.
So where if he just took a sack or just threw the ball into the ground or punted the football on that drive, they win those games. I mean, I texted you earlier the defensive stats,
Yeah.
for this team, and it's just like this defensive stats is something where we should have been in the college football,
Playoff.
playoff
I
rankings right
just did a
now.
show tonight. And every time I do the show over the last 2 weeks,
Yeah,
I'm sitting back and I'm like, we should be above Penn State.
it's
We should
crazy.
be above Ole Miss. We should be a one-loss team and sitting in the top five in the playoff and saying, "Here we are." Or 5-12 or 5-11, saying, "Here we are. We're the best one-loss team in the country."
Yes, I mean it's difficult. It's difficult to watch. It's difficult to to even it's crazy. It's crazy as far as that goes. But right now for the 2025 class, they ranked USC ranks 10th, right, one spot behind Oregon with and it's just still which if Juju left, it would be a a drop off there, obviously.
Right.
But as far as Longstreet goes, and he's a five. Longstreet is a 5-star. So let's see. Who's saying Longstreet? Yeah, he's a 5-star. So he's right now he's committed to A&M. I just don't understand. Like I said, the process is just like a weird one. I just don't get him. I just don't get it. Just take care of I think you're more likely to get a decommit from a guy who's not everybody's like Mama K who's gonna who just jumped right in and just
Right.
not everybody's like that. A lot of people are gonna say, the friends are gonna say, hey, like why can't you just play football here? Like what I'm saying, like they
Mm-hmm.
got good schools out here, they got this out here. Like why would you not just take care of that out here and instead of going all the way to California because it's a trek for some of these kids and it's an emotional toll on their situation. So I was trying to see the quarterbacks. So the quarterbacks, I can't get the ranking of the quarterbacks up, so I won't sweat it. But yeah, that's it. Obviously some some sweetness this weekend because you get those just absolutely gorgeous uniforms this weekend. Those things are just those. I mean, and I don't even know. It's not even. It's weird. Like just all it really is just a change of like what's on the side, but
Yep. On the arm. Yeah.
it's just like old. Like it's just beautiful to watch. It's beautiful to see those uniforms come back. And then you'll see that against Nebraska this week. They talked to the USC receivers. I didn't expect anything less than like them being complimentary of Jaden Mayava, but a lot of them said
Right.
a lot of them said a lot of really good things about him, and I think him being and I think also the Polynesian pipeline that used to just run through USC. That would help if he plays well as well, because then if he keeps playing well, and then maybe he is the quarterback for the year next year until maybe Longstreet's ready to go in 26.
I mean, absolutely. And again, I called for this kid before Penn State. I called for this kid early in the season.
Me too.
After the spring game. So, I mean, I'm just it's bittersweet, bro, because
Yeah.
I believe this kid's gonna play well. And if he plays well and we run off these wins, especially if we beat Notre Dame, I'm gonna look at Lincoln and be very, very upset. Very upset.
If they win three straight, if they win three, well, it actually to this point, it doesn't even matter if they win three straight. If he plays well in three straight games,
Yeah.
like it's gonna be a hard pill to swallow. Because
Yeah.
at the very beginning the only thing we were really asking for was just a package each half. I wasn't even
That's it.
asking. I wasn't even asking for like him to go out there and just be the starter. I was like, you want to ride with Miller? Okay, I understand why. Let's just take it from there. But I can't believe that we didn't even get that, and that was frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I would prove me wrong. If this kid ain't it, now I want to see it. But bro, you can see it. You just saw it in the game. And when you break down a Lincoln Riley offense, you understand that he needs mobility in that offense for him to be successful.
Yeah.
You just do. Like, sorry, you do. And I don't care if he misses reads, if he's running. Cool, we're getting yards.
Yeah.
Want to know why? Because you're gonna make that the linebackers have to respect you. That's what's gonna happen. Yeah. You're gonna make them have to respect you. So I'm with it.
I'm with it too. I do think, and like I said, people will make, because we are USC, people will make a huge deal if Juju transfers, unlike the deal they made when Deuce Knight left Notre Dame to go to Auburn.
Right.
It wasn't really that much of a big deal, but now it's going to be a huge deal. If that happens. Anything else about college football? How was your first foray into the college football playoff? I do think one thing I wanted before we go, one thing I wanted to talk about was I do applaud ESPN for kind of hinting that, hey, don't be surprised if there is a 3-loss SEC team in the playoff, which will be great. Like that's all we need is a 3-loss SEC team in the playoffs. That'd be great for football.
Well, so what the committee did today is told you they won't be a 3-loss SEC team in the playoff because they ranked Georgia outside the top 12, right? So if Georgia loses again, Georgia's not getting in. That will be your 3-loss SEC team.
Yeah,
because she hinted at it earlier, and the committee turned around and was like, "Nah, we're not doing that."
Yeah,
a lot of things would have to happen for it to happen, but they're like, "No, we're not doing that," because Georgia was so they're doing the kind of, I don't know if you've seen, they're doing kind of like college basketball. They have the first team out and second team out.
Yeah,
Georgia was the second team out. SMU is the first team out. They're telling you that Georgia loses again, they're not even the second team out, and SMU wins. The SMU can possibly jump into this in this situation, being the first team out.
Yeah,
right. Notre Dame needs to worry. They need to worry really bad. They need to worry because if they drop a game between Army and between us, they're out. The committee is telling them that already.
And I would be very interested. I would say this about that last game where the traditional last game against USC and Notre Dame. I would watch the officials very closely in that game. Just saying, the committee might really not want to lose Notre Dame for this playoff. I'm not saying that, whatever. I'm just saying that. I'm just think about it for a second.
So what are you going to say? It's Notre Dame or SMU? Who are you taking?
I mean,
Notre Dame or SMU in the playoff?
In the playoff, I'll tell you, my vote against Notre Dame would be this. Can you really have a team in a playoff who lost to 2 unranked teams?
Well, and so that would be the argument, right? That I know, and I get that. But like you said, well, I'm going to your point of the refs. They're gonna ensure Notre Dame gets in this game. They're gonna make sure Notre Dame, because they already got them in at 1 loss, and I believe they're ranked.
Yeah.
So they need them in this game.
Yeah.
They need them in. They need the game. They need them in the playoff.
To me, they don't. But like I said, they kind of probably. And I'm surprised they didn't. If they could find a way to flip it. So, like right now, I guess it's like Tennessee. The game would be at Tennessee. They would love to get that game at Notre Dame. The most exciting thing about it, and the reason why I'm so disappointed about this USC season, there's a lot of reasons why, but just the first round of these playoffs, and it's going to be home games for the higher seed. Dude,
oh man,
dude. I mean,
we're at home.
Dude,
we get a home game and pick your poison.
Could you imagine a play? I mean, like if we're in that 5-12 game and Boise's coming to SC, like that would have been fun. That would have been really, really fun.
That would have been a lot of fun.
That would have
Pick
been a
your
lot of
poison.
fun.
We're
Pick
just
your poison.
Coliseum's rocking.
Yes.
I mean, and the other one I'm gonna tell you right now is Indiana lose a game, they're out. And the committee doesn't like Army for whatever reason. They don't like Army.
So you think Indiana at 7, if they lose one game, they're done?
They lose Ohio State, they're done.
Brutal.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
I think SMU gets that spot because they came in at 8, or they started at 8. They beat Michigan and only moved up one spot.
Yeah.
Right. So the committee is already holding out hope. Is already saying we don't trust them.
Yeah.
They're undefeated. Think about it. There's 1-loss teams ahead of them. They're undefeated.
Yeah, undefeated. Yeah. I mean,
the committee's telling you they don't trust them.
That's going to be interesting. That's like I said. Of course, like these teams, these networks are terrorists for putting that game on at 12 at 12 Eastern time. I mean, we like football out here as well. So you put that game at 12 o'clock, you might get some more money with the ratings as far as folks out west watching that game. But here's neither here nor there. I think the dark horse team that I would not want to play is Ole Miss because of I think he is primed to make a run. Kiffin. And I think that the people don't understand that defensive line is special. They lead the nation in sacks. So like they can get after the quarterback. But Happy Valley, them in Happy Valley is like, that's just, you can't. Right
so that's the problem. That's the problem. Think about this. You got to go to Happy Valley in late December. And that ain't going to be fun. It's going to be cold. It's going to be snowing. It ain't going to be a fun game.
But my caveat to that is this is not typical Penn State. They want to throw it. They want to throw it to 44. They want to throw it. They want to throw it. So I think that they're going to be, and like just from watching them play up front, like I just think if you're smart defensively, you can. I mean, like Franklin will. He came through against us probably because Miller Moss threw an interception.
Lincoln came through for them.
Well, I mean, end of the day, it's 30-30. I got a 6'6" receiver, and my quarterback throws the ball 7-2. So I can't. So I can't deal with that part of it. But it is what it is. But I mean, they got interesting games here. We'll see what happens. I mean, the top 4 is. I think if it's crazy because that top 4, BYU, it's crazy because like Colorado does hold its destiny in their hands, and I know that they would love. I mean, no offense to BYU, but the networks would love to see Colorado.
Oh yeah, and here's the thing: you're gonna have to win the Big 12. You're gonna have to win the Big 12 to get in. There's not gonna be 2 Big 12 teams in. You're gonna have to win the Big 12 to get in.
So
absolutely,
it'd be fun. And after watching Utah play them, they definitely have an opportunity to do it. So
I didn't take having lived in Utah before and having watched that game and what that means to that state and how them people just that's a classic rivalry game. It's one of like us and UCLA. It don't matter how good one team is and how bad the other team is. This game can flip on its head at any point. Yeah. It's that type of football game being in there. Like that game is just, and I've went and seen it, right? Yeah. So it's crazy.
And the game can definitely flip when it's 4th and 10 and you're at your own 1 yard line and the officials call illegal contact.
Holding.
To help a drive.
Yeah.
Help a drive. Yeah, I can definitely feel that one.
Hey man, listen. Because I was one of those, I'm like, because I know that BYU hasn't beat Utah in Utah in a long time. Yeah. And I'm like, this game is going to get weird. If they get a chance, it's going to get weird.
Yeah.
And there you go.
There you go. All right, Trojan fans. A lot to talk about today. Don't worry about the probation. It's a hoax. If you can go to bowl games and your coach is not suspended, it didn't really happen. So I've never been to UCLA, USC. I've never been to the Rose Bowl. So what I'm pleading for is that they win this week. So I'm not going to see a 4-6 team. I'm not doing that. Money is not like that. I'm not doing it. I can justify it if I can justify it, whatever. But I do want to see the Rose Bowl. Do want to go to a game in Pasadena and see USC play USC, UCLA play USC. So let's beat the Cornhuskers and get that going. They're averaging like 10 points a game. I don't see a reason why.
I'm interested to see if Raiola plays this week. Don't know if he's playing this week.
I don't know if he's
He got
playing
hurt
this
last.
season.
He got hurt in the last game, but I know they had a bye this week too.
Yeah. So we'll
Yeah,
see
time
if
to
he
heal.
plays as well. Says it seems to be enough time to heal
Right.
and get back. All right, let's go. Fight on. The lights went out on me. Couldn't turn it back on. So I see. Yeah, I see y'all next time.
Fight on.
Please fight on.